Hi there. Sir Winston Churchill said, healthy citizens are the greatest assets any country can have. And food systems are essential to economic activity because they provide the basics we need to live in this world. Food systems are running through deep transformation that has been accelerating. Due to the current situation, agriculture faces some of the world's biggest development, economic, and environmental changes. Natural resources being degraded or lost at an alarming rate, putting millions of farmers and smallholders at risk. Food production lost or wasted when the population is set to increase by 2 billion by 2050. It is therefore important to reimagine agriculture and food system globally to address these imperatives and achieve a net positive impact by creating a healthy ecosystem that will enable supply chains to become more resilient, more competitive, and more attractive to the customers. With that, my name is Lee Chong Leong, and I'm the International Account Manager for Consumer Packaged Goods in Schneider Electric. And you hear quite enough in the world about digital, about artificial intelligence, about big data, about Industry 4.0. Well, how about procurement? With that, let's see how procurement accelerates digitization to build an agile supply chain while aligning with the sustainability goals of a company. For this purpose, I'm glad to present Mr. Piotr Teodosic, Head of Global Procurement at Olam International Limited, who is one of the key members to Olam's 2.0 Digital Acceleration Program. He has over 18 years of global experience in leading procurement and supply chain. Piotr is truly an expert in leading cost-effective procurement through strategic processes, including upstream innovations pipelines and end-to-end supply chain optimization, or manufacturing productivity improvements even. Well, Piotr, a very big welcome and thank you very much for joining us today. It's truly honored to have you with us today. Let's start with our talk. And the first thing that I have in mind is really the visions of Olam. Olam is a big company. So how does Olam view in regards to world-class procurement for new generation F&B industry? That's to tackle supply chain and sustainability head on.
Jean-Claude, thanks a lot for having me today. It's a
Welcome.
pleasure to be with you.
Sure.
There are two key enablers for us of becoming a world-class procurement organization. The first one is technology. That's what I'm going to focus on today. And the second one is collaboration. I will be happy to cover collaboration in the next session. But today, as you know, many organizations are already running in an extremely lean fashion after years and years of self-cost optimization. That might come at the cost of the ability to reduce spending now, leveling out the possible cost reductions and decreasing possible savings. But the truly world-class procurement organizations can offset that by expanding their value proposition and focusing on four key areas to differentiate themselves. The first one is being trusted advisor to the business. The second one is driving suppliers innovation. The next one is providing the big data analytics insight. And the last one is proactively managing any kind of the risk exposures. And across all of these four areas, the digitalization is the immediate level to apply. Now, with regards to the technology component, I recognize the growing reliance on digitalization itself, on automation, and on insights generation within supply chain, and specifically, of course, within procurement. For me, the most important and actually a little bit missing piece of technology is spend analytics. And this is something I'm looking to address in Olam almost immediately now. Admittedly, we don't have perfect technology integration and we can struggle with data quality. Now, making sense of the data is the key issue, of course, both driving actionable insights and accessing them when really needed. So we'll continue to make further investments in both having the right technology, but also ensuring that we have a right set of skills and competencies available across all levels of our organization. And of course, the ongoing COVID crisis only added into importance of turbocharging the digital agenda. as a key emerging procurement role in supply chain excellence.
Well, that's a big point, right? What is being spelled by Piotr. Now that we understand what it takes to become world-class F&B industry. So my next question will be, how about the actions? How about your role, Piotr, and your leadership in procurement? That's to contribute and support Olam 2.0 to be the best in class. How is it going to be?
It's a very good question, Lee. And you might know that Olam is now on a journey of redefining its business model, way of working, and most importantly, improving customer centricity. The very important part of this process is a company spin-off into group of the three more independent companies, starting with OIL, which will become an umbrella company, followed by OFI and OGA. Now, supply chain, of course, and procurement is a very important part of it, with its own significant functional transformation agendas. And new technologies, and namely, again, digitalization, is going to be very critical part of that transformation journey for us. And again, even in a current time of uncertainty, the outlook for disruptive technology is very crystal clear. With COVID-19 pandemic resulting in shutdowns of offices, shutdown of manufacturing plants, we do realize that the supply chain of the future is to be more digital and is to be more automated. The crisis is now helping to convert many long-term skeptics across Olam, but obviously across many other organizations, as I can imagine. So the presumptive recession will reduce growth for the most industries and result in a top-line decline for the most organizations in 2021 and 2022. That's what we already see as the signs coming from the clear signs coming from the markets. After years of focus on investment for growth, our organizations, as many other organizations, urgently need to prioritize generating cash from our operations. So through a combination of secure cloud-based technology solution and introduction of the tools like artificial intelligence, for example, many manual and time-consuming activities can be streamlined and improved both within and outside procurement and supply chain. Very interestingly, actually, that technology investments also gives very new digital life to quite old ideas. And a good example of this is, for example, should cost modeling, which is a very long existing concept within procurement content, which now can be seamlessly integrated into the technology systems. So this new digital solution can really unlock incremental end-to-end value and substantially upgrade any kind of conversations with both suppliers, but also with our supply chain partners. Another great example is analytics. That was the buzzword of the few last years, but with many companies that been investing in data systems and resources, but not really obtaining actionable insights. So for us, for procurement and for supply chain, it's now a unique position to start exploiting these advanced analytics capabilities in a more aggressive ways, because we do warehouse terabytes of data across our spends, across our contracts, across our suppliers, operations, accounts payables, and market intelligence data. We know that the best-in-class companies are now focusing investments on extracting value from this data through predictive and prescriptive modeling. And actually, we believe that the predictive models funnel data streams into the algorithms that uncover exposure in the supply chain and potential impact of events from low-risk events up to the black swan anomalies like we are facing today as COVID-19. So making use of advanced analytics is one of the absolute top priorities for Olam global procurement.
I mean, that's truly very interesting what you spell in the last 2-3 paragraph that you mentioned. I think you talk a lot of things about analytics, and behind analytics is truly the data, right? So, from the data standpoint, so we talk about access, you talk about how do we automate it to collect it easier. And we also talk about cybersecurity, right? So you can't have the data if it is being hacked by, the security standpoint of view. It doesn't last, hacks from the industry. So let's talk about these few points in terms of how do you look at primary data access as a point number one, and how does enabling availability of data being important from analytics point of view.
That's very right, Lee. Organizations must approach data collection much more strategically given the increased availability of the data sources and data types. That's what we see happening in the last few years. So there's incredible potential to better understand the procurement and supply chain ecosystems and introduce this kind of the new capabilities such as, again, predictive modeling. Building a data lakes infrastructure is a must, and that should be coupled with a third-party specialist providers and kind of the external cloud servers management. And this is especially necessary in a world relying now on a very short lead times. And for example, the real-time visibility of demand and supply of the protective equipment has helped our organizations as many other organizations to manage their requirements during the pandemic times.
Yeah, definitely PPE equipments, so we've been seeing in the news PPE equipments availability to all the factories out there so that they can continue to operate safely. So that's about how do we get the data safely. And let's talk a little bit about value creation by automating the analytics of procurement. How does that values looks like?
It's widely known that tactical operations still typically consume the working capacity of procurement and beyond, including the supply chain and other professionals. But we have the smart workflows now that have brought automation opportunity to upstream and downstream of procurement processes. The things like Internet of Things and the introduction of autonomous robots can help organizations elevate dependency on people and their physical presence in offices, plants, and warehouses, which is critically important in a time of crisis which we are facing now. So in downstream procurement, up to 85% of use cases can be potentially automated. A good example is possible automation of contract repository using the optical character recognition (OCR) solutions to digitalize all contracts. Contract compliance continues to be a pain point for many procurement teams, including OLAM, and managing large number of contracts through automation represents real value and real progress to us. And much of the data entry can be now managed with OCR solutions, which enables autofill form capabilities and very efficient creation of the contract repositories. The second example which I want to talk about is three-way invoice matching, where an invoice is approved only if its details match the associated purchase order and a goods receipt. Such a simple task as payment automation goes through the automated approval routes and is sending the automated emails for outstanding payments, and that can significantly and very meaningfully reduce the bottlenecks and create efficiencies, again, across not only procurement, but also through payable teams of the finance payables.
Well, I mean, your last few sentences there that you speak about automation, right? So behind all these automations, clearly we are worried about data security, right? So what are the data security that we need to watch out for in doing all this automation to generate efficiency?
Well, we are very much aware about the data security, the need for the data security, especially that in recent years we have witnessed some of the biggest cybersecurity threats targeted at our big organizations such as shadow brokers, WannaCry, or Pedia. And now clearly the explosion of Internet of the Things, data availability, and cloud present some unique opportunities, but also challenges for the business. So to manage and utilize growing volumes of data coming from multiple sources, and to maintain enterprise security alongside increased remote working and virtual meetings, which is now our new reality, we do plan to keep significantly investing in, for example, AI-based data protection, but also including the blockchain technologies.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. I couldn't agree more about data security, which is very important. You certainly has amazed our audience right here, about all your action-packed approach in procurement, isn't it? So in carrying out all these delicate actions, so Olam, Schneider Electric, we've been working together for I think a couple of years now, yeah. So implementing things like global manufacturing execution systems or using Aviva, integrating closely in terms of energy management approach, looking at the carbon emission, looking at lighthouses in the factories and so on, being the foundation of that digital transformation in Olam. So how's the feeling in terms of our partners? Do you enjoy it, Piotr?
Feeling is great. We do enjoy it. But truly, we are fully committed to further transformation of supply chain and fully committed to further transformation of procurement with digital tools and artificial intelligence. And this is why Schneider is our strategic partner in that journey, bringing the absolutely excellent level of expertise, the right tools, and the best possible support, which we do very much recognize. Now, our digitalization mission is clear and consistent. We want to empower all to do more while using less resources. The huge opportunity before us, where we go hand in hand with Schneider, is sustainability and power capacity coming from renewables. That becomes our enterprise ambition. We are facing the evolution between the centralized and decentralized energy systems, and the convergence of energy and digitalization truly opens opportunities for real efficiency and sustainability. In the past years, buildings are becoming more cost effective, industries are consuming less energy, and cities and data are becoming more energy efficient. With the right partners like Schneider, we can keep moving forward to enable truly sustainable manufacturing systems globally.
Well, that's just like a song when Piotr said that, ringing through my ears. So we truly value our strategic partnership together with yourself and your company, Olam, in helping both a company to develop positively in this ever-changing world, and most importantly, the topic of the day, how to build that new generation FMB industry, right? So to kind of like finish off the day, any final comments about what we see today and what we discussed today, Piotr?
Well, I can say that a mission of building truly agile and resilient supply chain, fully aligned with the sustainability goals of the company, is now very much hardwired into Olam growth strategy. And our people are at the heart of this digital transformation. In fact, the future of the new, more digital supply chain and its promises of a greater efficiency and greater sustainability is in the hands of the collaborative communities. And we do strive to grow that communities together with our partners globally, together with Schneider, across all levels of our organization. This is a centralized approach as it's engaging different parts of the business or lines of the business and different departments within our company. And it implies leadership, it implies agility, speed, and budget prioritization as well. So, therefore, the importance of a centralized procurement team covering many different parts across the businesses and between the different levels of the organizations. It's a global approach, still implying, of course, a lot of the local adjustments. And we do understand that the digital transformation is not possible alone. It involves the entire ecosystem of our suppliers, of our partners, and more importantly, the ecosystem of our customers beyond our internal transformation. So it requires a really collaborative approach. And finally, it has to generate value and benefits for all of us, for Olam and for our partners.
Yeah, of course, we have to win-win. So we have to make money in the market and at the same time protect the earth, generate better food, and have a world-class factories that our employees enjoy to work with. So that's end for the day. Thank you again, Piotr, for your absolute valuable minutes that we have helped all the audience here to understand the importance and the role of procurement in digital transformation to make that world-class and new generation F&B industry for the future. Well, thank you again also to our audience there for listening. Hope you'll be interested in learning more about the topic at se.com, that's schneiderelectric.com. I'm proposing some links hereafter. And if you want to start your journey with us, please don't hesitate to contact Schneider Electric. Thank you and see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.